Welcome to the SAU Report. I'm Tim Davis.
And I'm Sean Green. Our guest today is Dillon Tripp, a freshman English major. So, tell us where you're from.
I am from Bloomberg, Texas, which is a small town about 30 minutes south of Texarkana. We've got about 215 people, so it's a real small area. And we have 3 gas stations within 100 foot of each other.
What made you choose SAU?
The money.
The money.
We were all set to go to TC, or Texarkana College, and at the last minute we got a letter from SAU that said that they wanted me to come here, offered a bunch of money, so we packed our stuff up and headed here.
Who's we?
Well, me and my family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they helped me move all my stuff in and all that.
Okay, so your family still lives in Texas?
Yes, and they're still in Bloomberg.
Okay. And so you live on campus then?
Yes, I live at East Hall.
Okay. What's life like on campus for you?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It was a big jump getting used to it from living at home all those years, having all the structure of home life, you know, mommy and daddy telling you everything that you had to do and all that, and then you go up here, and if you don't want to go to bed till 5 in the morning, then you don't have to go to bed till 5 in the morning. You know, of course, when grades come back, then you have to deal with mommy and daddy again, so it's best to get in bed at a pretty good time. Other than that, it's been pretty good.
What made you decide to be an English major?
I've just always liked to write. I've wrote since the time I was little, and that's just a passion of mine, and that's what I want to do for the rest of my life is write.
Okay.
Which might be a poor lifestyle, maybe a lot of hungry nights, but it's what I want to do.
What campus organizations are you involved in?
I am the vice president of the Emerging Writers Club here at campus. We meet every other Monday at 3:15 in room 315, which is kind of weird. And I'm a presentation member of SIFE and a presentation member of PBL.
What exactly is SIFE?
It's Students in Free Enterprise, which it's mostly for business students. They get together and it's their first dwellings in entrepreneurism and starting their business careers for their secure financial futures and all that stuff. They run all kinds of projects. We just got done with Walgreens Wrangle, which was a really big deal, and SAU for local elementary children that gets them their first taste in business and business studies and stuff like that here at the campus.
So as a presentation member, what exactly do you do?
We take a team. Our first competition will be in Dallas. And we take 7 people, and we present everything that SIFE's done this year. From, like I said, Walgreens Wrangle, SAU, all the other little things that we've had. And we present it before judges, who judge us on our presentation, how we do it. You know, if it's in a business-like manner, you know, we dress in full business attire. And we give them an overview. We're graded, and if we do good enough, we move on to, that'll be regionals, we'll move on to nationals, which we are currently tied for 41st in the entire nation.
Wow.
What do you do when you're not in class?
In class, mostly write. I tend to be in the room a lot, writing, trying to get stuff done, trying to get published and all that good stuff. And me and a couple buddies, we all go play basketball on Tuesdays and Thursdays, try to stay in shape and fight the freshman 15 and all that good stuff.
Are you excited about spring fling? Or?
I've heard a lot about it, and I haven't been here for it yet or anything like that, but they said it's a pretty cool deal. I'm really excited about it. They said there's games and everything like that, and you get to meet a lot of people. And I heard there's even a free T-shirt involved. So that sounds like that.
That good.
Yeah.
Tell me about some of the things that happened at East, some funny stories or just some things that you remember.
Well, like we had a mascot at East for a while, which was a blow-up doll that someone had gotten from some store that was probably of ill repute. But it kind of bounced around from like floor to floor and room to room, and then one day one of our guys got it and we never saw it again. So we really don't know where it is right now, to be honest with you.
Nice.
What is your most embarrassing moment at SAU?
I had a conversation with a teacher while I was using the restroom that was like, you shouldn't talk in the bathroom anyways. I mean, it's just a rule of thumb, you know, you don't speak in the bathroom. But I was talking on the cell phone at the time, so I was breaking that rule myself. But the chick I was talking to in class had me on speakerphone with the rest of the class. So the entire class was privy to this really awkward conversation with one of our teachers, whose class I was going to next. And just it was just strange,
Yeah, I bet that was awkward.
a little bit.
Did you give away that you were in the bathroom, or did people just kind of figure that out? Or-
Well, when the toilet flushed,
Right.
that kind of gave it away. But I think everyone was kind of knew where I was because I
Right.
think the chick like fell out. Ha 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 ha! He's in the bathroom. So
Well, do you work anywhere? Or?
I don't work anywhere, not on campus right now. I hope to this coming semester work for the writing center and maybe the paper, but I usually get all my work done during the summer and save all that money up and use it to pay my way through college. Because that was the rule that I had with my parents, is that they wouldn't make me work while I was at college the first semester or the first year if I could pass algebra, which was very, very difficult.
Well, in the summer, where do you work?
I work on a pipeline near
pipeline?
Gilmer. I'm a welder's assistant,
Oh,
and the pay is really good, but it's a really long day.
well,
Tell us about some of the things that you've been through or done on the summer working at the pipeline.
Well, like our days, it's a 2-hour drive from my house to Gilmer, so we get up at 4 in the morning to make sure we're there by 7. Then we work until about 7 that evening, and then it's a 2-hour drive back home. So we get home about 9, which means it's time to go to bed, so I can get back up again at 4 in the morning, and it's a six-day week. And there's nothing really interesting that goes on out there. I mean, it's just a bunch of old men welding and stuff like that. But the pay is really good. Like with per diem, we get paid about $17.50 an hour. So it makes the college time a little easier.
Right. So that pays all that basically you don't pay for your college with that, or you just live off that while you're at college?
I just live off that.
Okay.
Scholarship pretty much covers everything that I need or required except for books. And all that stuff is just what I want to live off of. If I want to eat in the cafeteria, if I want to go out and eat and stuff like that.
Okay.
I've talked to you earlier, and you said you were into water aerobics. What exactly is that?
I needed 1 extra hour to keep my scholarship, right, to have the minimum requirement of hours. And with all the time periods that I had taken up, with, like I said, SIFE and emerging writers, there was only like one little time slot I could have stuff. And it was either take American Sign Language, which, I mean, I'm sure that would be useful and everything, but with my other schedule, I really didn't want like a difficult class.
Yeah.
And the other one was water aerobics. So I decided to take water aerobics. And I am the only male that is taking water aerobics, and like one of only 3 people that are under about 60 taking water aerobics. So the first day I walked in, I got a lot of strange looks from people. And it's just a bunch of older ladies, and there were 3 men, but we've recently had one pass away that was in the class. So that was pretty awkward. That was pretty strange. Really nice guy, though. Really nice guy.
I'm glad you got a chance to meet him.
So what is water aerobics like? Can you describe it a little bit? I mean,
Yes, I think I can. Like, it's pretty much it's low stress, low impact exercising and stuff like that. But I learned while I was taking it and why I am taking it that the muscles that older ladies use and the muscles that I use are different muscles. So when we work out those muscles, they're muscles I wasn't aware that I had. So I can't, like the first whole week, I couldn't walk because they do a lot of stuff to like tone your butt and your legs and stuff like that. And I'm not a big butt toning person. So I'm all, bowed up walking for about a week after it and stuff like that. And we do a little Tai Chi in there, all this stuff. And we have these weight belts. One of them, not weight belts, but floaty belts that we have to use to make sure that no one drowns or anything like that. Not that there's any danger because we're in the shallow. And we have these floaty dumbbells that we use. So it's kind of weird to look at if you don't know what's going on.
nice.
Do you work out anywhere around on campus, or I know they have like a facility here on campus. Do you work out there? Or?
I go there pretty regular to work out, like, lift some weights. It's a pretty nice place for the students to go to and everything. It's no free weights, it's all machine weights, but it's pretty nice. Like I said, though, mostly we go and just try to stay in shape playing basketball at the gym or at one of the local churches.
Okay.
So you live on East Hall. Can you tell me, I know Well, actually, I don't know. Is that for freshmen only? And if so, then what separates East Hall from freshmen such as like Green Hall, which is another freshman dorm?
There's a lot that separates East and Green as far as the hall goes. Like, I heard Green's pretty bad as far as how the hall's like holding up after all these years. But to get into East, we had to do so many, like you had to have a certain ACT score. You have to have so many hours of community service. You had to write an essay of why you think you would be part of it. It's a leadership program, pretty much. They want us to be the future leaders on the campus and stuff like that. And it's just something to get us out there early and to get us involved early. That way, throughout the rest of our college careers, we can be a driving force in getting stuff done around the campus and the community.
So, at East Hall, is your room and board covered by your scholarship?
Partially.
Partially.
Like the whole thing isn't, but enough of it is.
Have you ever thought about maybe? I know lots of freshmen or people that I've talked to on campus, underclassmen, they all wait till they're juniors or seniors and they can move into the village. Have you thought anything about that, or?
I've given it a pretty good deal of thought. Like, East is nice, but we can only stay at East. This is our last semester to be able to stay, then we have to go somewhere else, which it's kind of hard because I have a room to myself, so I'm already paying the $400 to keep the room to myself because it's just nicer to live by yourself every now and then. But if an apartment wouldn't be much more than that, I know I'd have to pay for utilities and stuff like that, then I'm kind of weighing it out to see which one would cost more, which one would cost less. Because like I said, I'm really trying not to have too much work to get too many jobs or anything while I'm going through my schooling.
Right.
Do you have any complaints about East Hall?
Yes. It's a really nice place. You know, air's always working, heat's always working. The internet access is terrible.
Really?
We pay a lot of money to stay there, like even the partial that I have to pay. And you can't get any internet access on the second floor. I guess it's all the steel from the bottom and the top, and we're just packed in between. But if you want to do anything on the internet, you have to go down to our computer lab, on the first floor, which we have a really nice computer lab. I mean, it's really nice. All that. Only our printer's not working. But the printer in my room is working. But I can't get on the internet in my room, but I can use the printer. And I can get on the internet downstairs, but I can't use the printer. So it's pretty much just a relay with a flash drive all the time to get schoolwork and stuff done on time.
So I know that you have to buy, in some dorms, and I think the village, you have to buy like a modem or an access that'll let you get on the internet, like an access card. Do you have to do that, or is it like wireless? Because I know in Wilson they have wireless internet. So I mean, in theory, you could go in there and just find a place and sit down and do your homework in there if you have like a wireless laptop.
Ours is wireless in East, which is why I'm kind of having trouble getting why it works in some places and not in East, because it usually works pretty good around the rest of the campus. Like I can take my laptop and go to the floor above me or the floor below me and get really good reception, but just not on that second floor. But we didn't have to buy a card or anything like that. Just if you had anything on, wireless built into your computer, it would work off whatever they have in East.
Okay.
Well, a lot of our viewers are women. Are you single? I'm sure they'd like to know.
Yes, I am currently single right now. I enjoy long walks on the beach, riding, and stuff like that. Other cheesy cliche things.
Well, back to more grounded things. Tell me about the cafeteria, because I know since you're a freshman and you live in campus halls, you have to pay for a meal plan, but you get one, so you probably eat at the cafeteria quite frequently. So tell me what you think about the cafeteria a little bit.
Like, especially compared to my high school cafeteria, our cafeteria is really, really, really good here. But not a day goes by when somebody doesn't tell me that they've gotten sick or something from something they've eaten at the previous meal. So my theory is there's one bad thing in the cafeteria at all times, and you just have to hope that's not what you decide to get, because some days they say it's the pizza, some days it's the tacos and all that. So all in all, it's pretty good food in the cafeteria. You just have to watch out for that one thing that makes everyone sick that day.
Well, being an English major, what do you plan on doing with your degree? Do you have any dream job that you...
Actually, I do.
Really?
I would like to do public relations or PR for Big Tobacco, the Big Tobacco organizations, just because I think if you could do that, if you can make a spin on big tobacco to make it a good thing, then you've reached just the height of anything that you could do with public relations or being a spin doctor or anything like that. Which I'm sure that that really doesn't sound like a great job to a lot of people, but that would be pretty cool, I think, for me to do.
Sound like there's some big bucks in it, to tell you the truth. So.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. It'd be better than being a starving writer, I suppose.
That can't hurt. What, you said you're in the Emerging Writers Club?
Yes.
Tell me, you're the vice president.
Yes, I am the vice president.
What does the Emerging Writers Club do, and what do you do as vice president?
We're an organization that gets together, and everyone and anyone's invited. If you want to, we get together and we read our stuff for each other, short stories, poems like that, and everyone critiques your stuff. We're all about building up, not about breaking down. We even have like a hand motion for it. But it's just a place that you can get your stuff out there. We put on coffee houses, and being vice president, me along with our president, Micah Hicks, we try to get that together, and it's just a place like we'll have coffee and stuff like that, and it's usually at night, usually on campus, like in the Bruce Center or something like that. And it's just poetry readings, short story readings. Everyone's invited to come. It's no charge admission and all that. Miss Shannon Schrader's a big part of putting it on. She's our sponsor, and that's pretty much what I do as vice president. And just as far as the club goes, it's just something to get your stuff out there. We have a progressive story that everyone writes who's in the club. It's kind of petered off right now because, with the new semester starting and all that. But we had online, it was like a board where you could post, different comments and stuff like that, but we posted story parts. And one person would post something, then 2 more people would have to post before you could post again. And it was pretty cool to see, to start a story and then see where everyone else in the club took it and stuff like that. And that's pretty much the stuff we do, just fun things with writing, things to get better, stuff like that, things to get you exposed.
You said get your stuff out, and I've heard you say published. So do you put out like a publication or anything during the course of the year?
We put on we're a part of putting on there's an SAU writing contest, and everyone can enter and stuff like that, and they will publish the winners get published in a booklet. And that's, you can buy on campus and everything like that. But that's pretty much all the actual publication that we do ourselves. The most of it is just trying to help people go through, the right channels and stuff to get their stuff to people and stuff like that.
A lot of students are all into this Facebook thing. Or are you into that, or?
I do the MySpace.
Really?
I've tried to get on Facebook a couple times, but for some reason it won't take my student email.
Really?
So I guess I need to go either talk to somebody like that, but I'm kind of embarrassed to go to the tech department and I can't get a Facebook because I'm afraid they would just look at me in disgust and I'd have to leave. But I use the MySpace to keep in touch with friends from high school and like that and people around campus, and that's pretty much it, though.
You ever meet any new friends on the MySpace?
I've met a couple people on MySpace.
Really?
I met a couple people at the school that I didn't know beforehand on MySpace, which was pretty cool because, it's people that you theoretically see every day. I know it's a big campus, but you never meet. But they read your bios and stuff like that, and you find out that you have stuff in common with people, and it gives you stuff to talk about when you actually meet them. And it's a pretty good channel for making friends and stuff like that up here, and keeping in touch with people back home.
Well, that's good.
What's been the biggest adjustment to college life for you so far?
Probably just being independent by yourself, because I went straight from high school, living with mom and dad, and the structure of high school, you get up, you go to this class, you go to that class, and it's just you have to take care of yourself. There's no one there to feed you unless you go to the cafeteria. There's no one there to tell you when you need to go to bed and stuff like that. You can theoretically never sleep, never eat. I mean, it's probably not healthy, but that's pretty much the biggest adjustment, is just to get used to everything being on your own and by yourself.
Well, do you have a favorite instructor or favorite class that you enjoy most?
I really enjoy my comp classes with Dr. Stacy Clanton. He's a pretty cool guy. I won't say he's different or anything like that, but he does a lot of thought-provoking things. He plays the devil's advocate a lot to make us think, and think outside the box that we've been taught to think in high school. And I also like I said, Miss Shannon Schrader a lot. She's my Emerging Writers, sponsor and our teacher and stuff like that. And she's pretty much does the same thing. Yeah, so those are the two that I've really, really enjoyed at my short time here so far.
And I heard you mention something about like a senior creative writing class.
That's what Miss Shannon teaches us.
So how did a freshman get into a senior level creative writing class?
There were only 3 of us that were allowed in, and it was from emerging writers.
Okay.
She read our stuff and thought that we were on a level to where we could enjoy the class and, not just sit there every night pulling our hair out, trying to figure out what we were supposed to do for assignments and anything like that. And I'm really glad that we got into it because it's been my favorite class by far that I've taken in my whole short time here so far. There's not many grades or anything like that because it's a workshop more than anything. But it's pretty much just practice writing and everything like that. It works a lot like the Emerging Writers Club, only it's pretty in depth. Like people that hear your stuff tear it apart, but in a good way. Tear it down to its basic stuff, and then you build it back up. Critique it and revise it and make it a lot better.
So is the format, the teaching format, is it basically she just assigns like a poem, a certain type of poem you're supposed to write, or like a short story, and then they just dissect it and you just correct it basically? Is that the type of format? Or?
We do a lot of readings over like Hemingway and stuff like that, other people that have done short stories and stuff like that, and then we write our own. Well, when we get done writing our own, we have what we call a writer's circle, to where about 2 days before the writer's circle, the 3 people that are supposed to be in it post their stuff up on Blackboard, whether it's a short story or a poem. She decides that, And when it's their turn, everyone reads it, goes over it, critiques and stuff, prints out their comments for it and everything like that. And when you get into class, if it's your turn, you don't get to say anything if you're in the circle. You just sit there and listen to everyone discuss your writing and take notes on what you should change and stuff like that. And that's been really cool. But that's pretty much the format of what we do.
So it's almost like an art critique then. Okay, that's good.
Pretty much.
Being from Texas, have you had a chance to explore Arkansas outside of Magnolia?
I went to Hot Springs a little bit ago.
How'd you like that?
With some of the family. It was pretty good. We went to the horse track and all that, and I found out that you can bet on horses at 18, but you can't get into a casino and play a nickel slot machine, which is really weird. But Arkansas is a beautiful place. I was in Boy Scouts, went to camps here and everything since I was little, and so I know pretty good a bit about Arkansas.
Would you ever consider to make Arkansas your residency? Or?
If I could, yeah, I love nature and everything like that, and it's a pretty nature-oriented place. Like I drive through just cotton field, and pop out here from my house. So if I could do whatever, the PR or writing or anything out here, I'd definitely think about making Arkansas home.
Oh, that's good.
So just tell us a little bit about what SAU has coming up for the rest of the semester that you know of.
Well, we have a presentation team coming up, and some of our people are working on TOP, which is that one person, which is some of the African American organizations on campus are getting with middle schools and mentoring and stuff like that. And we just had our etiquette banquet last night, which teaches the proper forks to use, proper posture, proper discussion for like business meetings and eating get-togethers and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us today on the SAU Report. I'm Sean Green.
And I'm Tim Davis.